You looking really good lately? Oh shit. Thank you.
With all of the drama.
Okay, let's don't get it twisted. Let's get fucking started. Russia is targeting civilian apartment complexes in Ukraine, but before that, we should talk about the bridge explosion that occurred. But I don't know if there's TOS in this, and I can't fucking play this while there might be TOS in this. Maybe I'm like a little worried. Let me scroll through it real quick, and then I'll go pee while this plays. Holy fuck, am I?
In the war in Ukraine, a deadly barrage of attacks launched on Ukraine's major cities,
including a deadly strike on the capital of Kyiv. Vladimir Putin speaking just moments ago, saying he personally ordered those attacks. Britt Clinton starts us off in Kyiv with what we know at this hour. Good morning, Britt.
Good morning, Robin. Kyiv is on edge. We woke up to the sound of several loud bangs at just after 8 a.m. Smoke rising from the city center. This is one of the first targets that was hit. Cleanup is underway. Part of the road has been ripped up. The windows blown up out of this building behind me. But this is a busy intersection, you know, where hundreds of cars pass through during rush hour. And as far as we know, there were no military targets here. You know, there were attacks on infrastructure in Kyiv as well, but also civilian areas with no apparent strategic or military significance, including a park and a pedestrian bridge that has no other purpose other than sightseeing. You know, the streets here in Kyiv are nearly empty. We left the hotel bunker a short while ago. Most people took cover after the first round of missile strikes, some in the city's subway. But the timing of this, you know, it is key. As I say, happening on a Monday morning during rush hour when many people would have been traveling to school, traveling to work. This is the biggest attack on the capital since the beginning of the war, and the first attack on the city center, making this a clear escalation. And as you say, Putin saying he personally ordered these strikes, warning that if the Ukrainians attack Russia.
This is straight up terrorism. Okay? It's straight up terrorism. And when Putin says, oh, well, you know, what goes around comes around, you shouldn't have blew up our bridge, right? And I saw plenty of people saying, well, that's technically infrastructure. It's valid to blow that up. Ultimately, it goes back to who struck the first blow. And the country that struck the first blow is still Vladimir Putin. It's still Russia. So what ended up happening is, regardless, state-sponsored terrorism in the form of state war, military action, started when Vladimir Putin decided to invade Ukraine. What Ukraine did in blowing up the Crimean Bridge was also a ridiculous act of war, okay? I don't care if you get mad at me for saying this. Blowing up civilian infrastructure that civilians utilize because military equipment passed through it is absolute. Dude, what the fuck? Dude, people are so insanely fucking strange, bro. This is not like triggering, okay? This is not like me being fearful of you or something. You come across like a psycho when you write this in my chat. Okay? The bridge was used for Russian military sources. I know. But there are plenty of other parts of civilian infrastructure that also use civilian. You're giving him what he wants. Yeah, I know, but they're going to get across the platform banned. I ran across someone in the COD beta whose name was I'm going to kill Hasan Piker was with these psychos. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. You know what I mean? Like, it's very weird. It's a very weird thing to say, man. Like, what do you want? I know you think it's like a meme or some shit, but like, one of you fucking schizos is actually going to end up killing me. Is that what you want? Like, I don't really understand. I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe that like it'll be cool if I die, if I get fucking murdered by some schizophrenic fucking fan of one of these weirdos. Is that what it is? I don't know. I legitimately don't understand it. It's so wild that it's just like a normal part of my existence. You know what I mean? It's like it's always. Maybe stop calling people schizos. That's your takeaway from this? Motherfuckers in the chat being like, I'm gonna murder you, Hasan Piker. And me being like, bro, you're schizo posting in the chat. That's what you're mad at? God, leftists are so fucking stupid. I mean, seriously. You are literally a fucking idiot. I mean, I'm more mad at you than I am at like the fucking freaks that say that they're gonna murder me. Straight up. You're just such a fucking idiot. Like you're such a loser. You know what I mean? Leftists are such fucking idiotic losers that like they cling on to the most the stupidest part of a fucking conversation. Jesus Christ, you're still going after it, man. Holy fuck. My man would be like, hey, I know you're receiving death threats right now, like a lot, but how about you fucking watch your tone in the way that you're receiving death threats from people who are just deranged. Kind of fucked up. Kind of fucked up how you receive that death threat, Sweaty. That's awesome. Like how do we get to this point? Like how do we get to this point where it's like it's so normal for me to fucking receive death threats regularly that you know, we're just moving beyond that and we're going, hey, your reaction to such is inappropriate. Some of you do really need to log off a little bit. Anyway. So, there are a lot of civilian targets and civilian infrastructure that oftentimes are valid targets. There's rules to war. Okay. I think what Russia did in Western Ukraine is worse than what Ukraine did in Crimea. Okay? But I still think that what Ukraine did in Crimea is bad. Okay? Of course, what Russia is doing is significantly worse. What Russia has been doing since day one is significantly worse because they are the ones who are invading. Okay? They are the ones who are invading. None of this would happen if they hadn't invaded. It's mind-numbing that how there are actual active politicians in the GOP that openly support Putin. What I assume is your smoke detector keeps beeping. Battery's probably low. What? No, my smoke detector is not beeping. This is why my main point has always been, this is why war is awful across the board. Because civilians end up getting killed in the process. Okay? That's it. This is why it's bad.
And if they continue, the answers, he said, will be severe. Robin?
As you said, a clear escalation. Britt, thank you. Well, hey there.
I can't sit here and fucking act like, bombing civilian targets and civilian infrastructure is ultimately a good thing and justifiable. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. The main actors in this circumstance are, of course, the main perpetrators of the circumstance are, of course, the Russian forces and Vladimir Putin. Okay? I don't think anyone has an issue with that take. I mean, or if you do, you're a fucking psycho. You're out of your mind.
Correspondent Ian Pano, who is also in the region tracking the very latest on this major escalation by Putin. Good morning to you, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Rob.